I always come here.
Tyrone Dubois let me join him on a walk down Parchment Place
Is this where you visited her the last time?
Yes, right here.
to the home where his mother lived.
And we were sitting on these steps. She was on the top one and I was at the bottom one, laughing and talking.
The place where she was murdered.
This is where it began and a part of me where it ended.
In the early morning hours on September 2nd, 1989, Berlina Wright, known as Cookie, was killed.
She was beaten to death with an axe handle.
Dubois got the call from his sister.
I remember saying, no, 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 and I threw the phone down.
It was an hour after he exchanged vows with his new wife in Los Angeles.
We just got married. I was extremely happy. It was a big day.
Now, his big day turned tragic. The killer was quickly identified, Tyrone White, known as Tito. He was convicted and sentenced to 15 years to life in prison. Dubois says he made a promise to White in court.
Every single time you come up for parole, I'm going to be here.
Dubois built a big career as an on-air R&B personality in L.A.
I'm America's R&B historian, Tyrone Dubois.
But never missed a parole board hearing here in Ohio.
I was there.
And when White was being considered once again for parole in June, Dubois was there again, making the same argument.
Under no circumstances should this man in any kind of way, shape, or form be let out of prison.
It seemed to work. Dubois went back to his life in L.A. Then he got a call from Brett Van Oker, president of BlockParole.com, who asked him a question.
Did you know that they're about to let Tyrone White out of prison?
Dubois called the parole board and confirmed that White was recommended for parole. When Dubois asked why he wasn't informed, he says the employee told him,
We sent you a letter August the 20th.
"A letter."
And I said, no, you didn't. I knew you didn't. And she said, well, you do know that there's problems with the mail.
The same problems that were publicly pointed out many times in the ramp up to the elections. Deep cuts and delays at the Postal Service that triggered protests.
Do not delay our mail!
The parole board acknowledges delays in delivering mail during the election might have caused the problem. Dubois says the board could have called or emailed him since they already had his contact information.
Then if there were problems with the mail, then the mail should have been your last option.
I asked the parole board for a copy of the letter it sent and got this. Dated August 20th, the letter states the board did decide to parole White and that Dubois could request a full board hearing to fight the release. But when I asked if the board sent this and other letters to victims' families certified to prove they were delivered, I was told no. My questions and Dubois' complaints caused the system to pause.
Did that concern you?
Yes, it did. It concerned us when our Office of Victim Services discovered that one of the letters had not been received. Because victim notification is one of the most important things that we do.
Cynthia Mauser, who oversees the parole board, says she and others were so concerned about the issue we raised, the board decided to change the way it notifies from now on, calling and emailing all families of crime victims at the same time the letter is sent.
Yes, it's about fairness, and it is about making sure that we're complying with our statutory duties and making sure that the victims are included in all of the processes that they have the right to be included in.
Dubois is proud that he helped other families, but keeping his mother's killer in prison wasn't meant to be. Tyrone White has stage 4 cancer, and the board voted 8-1 to parole him as soon as December. Dubois, who's a colon cancer survivor, understands that decision, even though he's still haunted by the memory of a mother who was murdered.
When is it over for me? He served his time, but for the rest of my life, I'm still serving mine.
I'm Dwayne Pullman, Local 12 News.